Doing a quick build today. Hope everybody is doing well. Happy Monday to everybody. So let's see. So today we're doing a GAF 910 build. It will be in the polycarbonate version with these new GAME1989 HMX switches. These are factory lubed linears from HMX. Hello, Mr. ODM. How are you? Jay Ridgy, I love GAF and GAF accessories. Best of luck for those who are entering. Blood Trail, hello. Hubert, hello. Harry Smallwood. RUMC Ulster the Goose, hello from Blusky. Hello, hello. How's it going? Alright, so let's get to this. So we got our alu plate. There's a few other plates. We have a PCB. And then we got some AP stabs. We have an ID for the board. We have a daughter board. Cleaning cloth. I think that's about it, right? I don't think I see anything else. Alright. And then we got our board. That was meant to be blue sky. Oh, okay. Blue sky it is. Well, welcome anyway. Emerade, hello. So it looks like we already have a PC plate installed in there. And a daughter board. For now, I don't think I need to take anything out. I'll just leave this alone. But we'll do the build on the solderable PCB today. So I'll test the PCB first, and then we'll get to it. Anyway, so this is what the PC GAF 910 looks like. You've seen the GAF 910 before. Collaboration between TGR, GMK Keycaps, Keycaps, and GAF caps and Strongbow. Although I know that there is some controversy surrounding the GAF 910, especially past the first round. But alas, don't need to get too much into the details. Let's get to building. Hello, Funky, how are you? So we got our plate, PCB. Let's test our PCB real quick. It's a Mech 11 PCB, as we know from the previous builds. Let's open up VIA. Let's see. I'm not sure if this is flashed yet. Let's see. Oh, weird. 1 sec. Try a different cable. El empaque de esos switches es el mejor que he visto, ¿ah, sí? Is that right? Whoa, that's acting kind of weird, huh? Let me see what's going on. Might be my stupid might be just my cables. Oh no, not here. Where did I put it? Hmm. All these cables, and my hub is starting to be weird. Well, it has been weird for a while now. I don't know if this is the right daughter board for this. Is this the same one? Oh, yeah, definitely is my hub then. Okay, alright. I think I need to check my USB hubs for whatever reason. They act weird. Alright, so we have a Z65 revision 1 PCB from McLovin, and let's program it here. So we got the RGB test going. Let's change that to maybe this one. And then let's see. Let's just switch up a few things. Hey, let's see who's here. Danny FPS, hello. I'm Meg, loving it. Harry. Hi Diego, tell us more about the controversy. Just to learn how to choose. Well, so there's no real. I mispicked my words, I guess. The little bit of controversy, so to speak, is that there was some confirmation from GAF that he hadn't received royalties from GAF910 sales past the first run. The first run being the one from the aluminum, silver, and black units. It was the first round, I think. And then there was just some conversation in the Keycaps Discord server, and there was like basically like, oh, I didn't really receive any royalties from the others, and like pretty much have received no news since like my hiatus, and just came back and still nothing, and people are kind of up in arms about it, which is totally fair. And I think that sucks. Like, it's like bad communication along with just omission, honestly. I think Shuangmu as a runner should have done better to compensate appropriately, and that seems to not have happened, or at least didn't happen. I don't know, maybe they've resolved it, but basically then kudos. GAF was like, oh, you know, don't get up with pitchforks, because they've reached out back to me. So hopefully they've resolved it since. Hopefully nothing else has had any issues since then, but that was like new information people didn't know about. And so that was why it was like kind of, I'm saying controversy as a way to say it, but that's sort of how it went. But that said, hopefully hopefully the people who deserve royalties get them. So that's to say, obviously TGR for the design of the board, and Keycaps for the artwork, not to mention the branding and the design, right? So yeah, hopefully that's all cleared up in due time. I honestly don't know what the details are there, because that's privy to them. But that was pretty much information that was more recently-ish revealed, and so people were just kind of surprised. Like, rather, fans were surprised. So yeah. Que hablaba español también. Sí se puede, pero normalmente inglés. English first, Spanish maybe next. But not I won't like dominate the stream in Spanish, because it's not fair to most viewers, and also it's just easier to keep it to one language in general. Alright, so layout wise, I was asked to do ANSI plus 7U, so that's gonna be 4 stabs. Also, Sean, hello. Hope all is well. All is all right. Things are going okay. Just been busy. In my case, I'm on the job search and whatnot. I'm waiting for some interviews. Hopefully that happens soon. But other than that, it's been pretty chill. It's been going alright, actually. Pretty good. Do you still do stickers for every 3 months? Yes, I do, Sean. So do exclamation stickers for that. GAF to Akarshi, yo. Man, people be real slimy. I don't get it, right? Like, I feel like I don't understand, right? Like, personally, right? Like, I'm saying, like, if you're gonna do a collab sale of any sort, right? You price things accordingly to kind of bake in everyone's prices, meaning the designers, the people who contributed, right? So any contributors, so whether that's artwork, whether that's branding, whether that's packaging, whatever it is, PCBs, you know, whatever it is, all the parts. You bake in that to the price, and then as soon as people make payment, you should be disbursing those payments immediately to the people involved, in my opinion. Like, in my opinion, it's like, you get an invoice, you set aside the money, and that money gets disbursed. Because that's money you shouldn't be even be seeing in your own account, right? Emergency, sure, you allocate, yeah, sure, you can allocate part of the price towards like an emergency fund, where like if shit hits the fan, then you have that emergency fund to, you know, run emergency operations. But it's kind of weird. But quality of the keyboard, no, nothing related to quality of the keyboard. The quality of the keyboard is pretty good. Generally, like, these came out really nicely. But then again, I don't know if there's anything else to be known there. So, I'm between Cloud9 and Derivative. What do you suggest? Cloud9 and Derivative. Cloud9 and Derivative. Well, Cloud9 hasn't even shipped, has it? So I would say the Derivative at the moment, right? Yeah, because Cloud9, let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so the GB happened, and it hasn't shipped yet, if I recall correctly. So, personally, I would say Derivative right away. I also like the more, like, if you're looking for a new board to try, I think the Derivative is a great board to sort of, like, try and see what you like about it. Not to mention it's accessible, it's easier to get at the moment. Not to mention the Cloud9 is obviously not even out, so you can't get it regardless. Unless you're planning on waiting a few months, however many months that is. If you're planning on waiting, then yeah, wait and get the Cloud9 and try it out if you want. But if you don't want to wait, and if you want to get something right now, I don't think the Cloud9's out yet. Why do you know how to speak Spanish? I was born and raised in Mexico. I lived there for 18 years of my life. Or so. Then I came up here for school and work. I forget if I did this or not. How are you, Diego? What's up, Mr. Frank? Oh, exclamation stickers. Oh yeah, you should fill it out if you haven't before. Jishi, hello. Elquan, hello. Numa is also coming out soon. Yeah, there's a lot of boards nowadays. Honestly, the choices are all very good. The only thing is, like, when you ask, I personally find people asking for recommendations a little bit difficult. Not in the sense that you're bothering me, not at all, actually, but in the sense that you also need to apply a little bit of what you prefer. So like, you need to like the aesthetics, right? So so if all else equals, like, what edges you more on, like, what puts the edge on one board over the other? Like, you need to think about, like, aesthetics, you need to think about, like, I don't know, like the options that you get, like any like extras or options that you get, customizability, that kind of stuff, right? And then after you've kind of done that research and you're kind of all set, then yeah, sure, ask for recommendations and narrow it down based on whatever other factors might be mentioned that you might have missed in your research. But recommendations are hard to make because I might recommend something and you might not like it, and then whose fault is it? But yeah, generally speaking though, if a recommendation is being made though, I think it'll be good, probably. Like, I mean, and other people will likely agree. Like, if they likely agree, if other people agree, then it likely will be good, right? So it's like, you can't go wrong with it if many people agree that it's a good recommendation. So, you know, why not give it a shot and see where that goes from there. And that goes for you, Danny FPS. You should just try it out. Just like, if you're between the Cloud9 and derivative, well, first of all, the Cloud9 isn't even out. So unless you're planning on waiting and you want something right now, just get the derivative. See, try it out for yourself if you already like it. If you like it, then that's good. That's it. You're done. If you don't, then, you know, you can look into the Cloud9, but it depends on whether you want to wait or not. If you recommend something and we hate it, we'll blame you, giggle. That's fine too. You can blame me, it's fine. Not that I will mind too much if you do blame me. And also, thank you, Mr. Frank, for the successful pre-order message. Blue Alert did pretty well, in my opinion. It hit MOQ organically for all the kits. I don't know about the international kit specifically, but if I recall correctly, I was told that it will be made for any users who did order it. And there will be probably a limited number of extras across vendors, but I will say, unless it's a vendor that likely got more orders on their end, like organically, I think the smaller vendors will likely get very, very few extras, so don't like wait on that. And then you probably can find more extras, like, you know, like Novelties, for example, is likely the bigger vendor, and it is also the lead vendor for Blue Alert Round 2. So if you missed out on it, then, you know, maybe you can wait until Novelties gets their allocation later in, I think it's supposed to be like Q1 of 2025. That's when Blue Alert R2 will likely ship. I know their website said Q4 this year, but I don't think that's realistic, so I would say Q1 2025. Avo, hello. Sumo Peep Show, hello. Morning to you. It's not morning for me, so good day to you. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm currently just breaking in these little clips on the TXAP stabs. The reason being that TXAP stabs, for some reason, come with slightly tighter clips, like the clips that grip the wire, right? The stabilizer wire. And by breaking them in, you're just allowing them to rotate more freely and in place. Otherwise, it's not bad. Like, it's not like it's impossible to work with, but it may add some sluggishness if, for example, you lube your stab and it's too much, and it creates a little bit of extra friction that might cause some movement issue. So better to just loosen it up a little bit, sort of by breaking it in, and by doing that you will like just free up a little bit of the motion here. And so what I do is unclip and reclip the wire several times because the plastic is a little pliable. So yeah, I mean, it could probably be easier to just grab like pliers or something, like some other tool, and just like expand that clip a little bit, but I think this is easy enough, so I don't bother with anything else. Okay, so TXAP got the grippers, but we like grippers, right? I didn't do that with my A piece, and I lived luckily. Yeah, so like it'll be fine for the most part. I think If you also like lube lightly on your stabs, then you likely won't face that problem because it will just be about the same. But yeah, it's like you know, your mileage may vary, and so mileage may vary. Oh my god, I'm like eating up words today. But yeah, I just do it as a precaution rather than as a necessary measure. Grippers for feet, right? I guess technical definition, I don't know. Someone pull up a dictionary and tell me. What does the Oxford Dictionary say? Can it only be one type of body part? IDK. I feel like the word itself seems to me that it would indicate anything, that any item, it doesn't even have to be a body part, but any kind of like thing, object that does the action of gripping. No? But I guess casually, maybe you're right. Look at this guy. You're looking at me. That's right. Don't I look good? Thanks. I bought the Cloud9 and was considering getting a derivative as well. Do you think it's a sensible thing to do? Or are both pretty close to each other? I haven't had them side by side, so I can't tell you, but I don't know, Rue MC. So I think it, okay, how about I put it as if I had to do this decision. Okay, so if I had to make this decision, the reason I would get the Cloud9 in the first place, right, is because of that true HHKB top, okay? So I actually would be getting the Cloud9 not just because of the board itself, like being a 60% or whatever, but also because it's a true HHKB form factor board. Not many boards offer that. Like there's the Vero from AKB, there's a few others, right, that offer true HKB top, but there's not many, and Cloud9 is one of the few that does, right? The derivative didn't, right? So the derivative, you could get it when was it like WinKey, WinKeyless, or HKB. It's like HKB is also a 7U HKB. So if you like the distinction of 6U HKB, like true HKB top, then the Cloud9 has strong appeal. So for me, specifically, I would get the Cloud9 purely for the 6U HKB form factor. Like that would be my biggest convincing factor, right? Like the factor that would like actually convince me and say, okay, I kind of want to buy that because it's one of the few boards out there that does it. Because maybe I missed out on the Vero or something, right? Like, and I or I just like the look of how the Cloud9 did things over that, right? Which actually I do. I do like the sharp look of the Cloud9's like edges and the like side taper and all that. It's a little bit like it's nice looking. It's bottom line. And so that alone for me, I would be like, okay, yeah, I'll consider the Cloud9 and also a derivative. The derivative, I really like how, like, I did build that one too, and I did really enjoy how it typed. And I've built a few other people's derivatives as well, and I personally enjoyed the derivative in pretty much every single build configuration I've tried with it. Generally really nice sounding and nice feeling board. Not to mention it has a few different mounting styles, and so it kind of allows you to like do things differently depending on how you're feeling about like play material and the play tabs and how you decide to mount the play and all that, right? So it's pretty nice. And I think finally for me the derivative is very distinctive because the looks are really good. Like it has a really nice side profile, and generally for me aesthetics actually are maybe 80% of what I consider in a board over feel and sound. There are many boards that look really good, but I feel like for typing feel and sound, for me, just because I have more than a couple of keyboards. Typing feel and sound, it's a little bit less important for me personally. I feel like I can probably accomplish 80%, 90% of what I want without feeling like I need to be discerning so much about typing feel and sound. Just because a lot of boards that come out these days are also like really good in general. Like the baseline is really high. And like there's so many options with pretty good feel, sound, and like obviously people prototype things to test things out and whatnot. And so I feel like the baseline of what you can expect is really high. And so generally things will be pretty good. And the rest will be like a choice of like, oh, whether I want to get a certain plate or choose certain switches for it, that kind of stuff. Like you can adjust that yourself. So for me, I think like if I can get that 85% or whatever it is of a threshold of feel and sound, then the rest is kind of all I care about is how it looks, aesthetics, and how it like fits in my collection. What kind of key set do I want for it, or maybe some unique feature about it, kind of like the Cloud9, right? Alright, so what I missed. Who made this noted? I have no idea. I need some advice. Oh, the Goose 37, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Niku asks, I need some advice. A switch on my keyboard does not activate with some switches and does with others. Any idea what I can do? So, a whole category of switches doesn't trigger, but then others do. I mean, I would be checking several things. First of all, is it hot swap or solderable? First, if it's hot swap, I would check the state of the socket. How is the socket doing? Is the socket like, does the socket have any damage? Or have the pins like bent? Have you tried reseating it? Have you tried replacing it with the same switch? What's going on there? So first assess that. See whether that fixes your problem or not. Now it doesn't. Okay. Then, assuming that your socket is fine, and it does work with some switches and doesn't, as you're claiming, I would then look into, you know, the switch itself. So is it like a Franken switch, for example? Franken switches tend to fail more often than not because you're mixing parts and they don't all act the same way as they always should. So there's that. If it's solderable, maybe something else is not working. I mean, actually, well, even on hot swap, same thing. You might want to check like that your diodes. Is the diode there? Is it damaged? Have you tried replacing it? That kind of stuff. So I would look into that too. Also, Blue Crayon, hello. 3D keycap with the raid. Sorry I missed it, but thank you so much for the raid. Dio can't mod me because he needs to ban for WAB and Silver at least once a stream. Okay, I ran out of 205 in this jar. Can you see how I used all this jar of 205? So, surprise, I have another one. Because I ordered in bulk a long time ago and don't have to order any 205 ever again in my entire life, probably. I needed to bend the pin a bit because the pins were too short and bending them a bit to touch the mil max. Okay, hold on. Hold on right there. You were bending the pin? No, sorry. The pins were too short. If you're looking at a key switch and one pin is shorter than the other, then it means your pins are like receding into the switch, meaning that it's getting pushed back into the switch. So that means those like pins, those legs are like loose in the switch. So you just need to make sure that as you're inserting the switch, those pins do not recede into the switch as you're pressing it in. You need to make sure that those get gripped by the socket, whether it's a Milmax or a regular Gateron Kale hot swap socket, right? You need to make sure that gets actually that pin is actually going into the socket rather than receding into the switch. That's gonna be your biggest thing. Some switches just do that. Like some parts just are manufactured in such a way where those metallic contacts are a little on the looser end, so they kind of recede into the switch. So it might be a switch problem. What type of switch would you recommend for a top mount? Well, for a short and quick answer for me, I will recommend. Well, I do have a switches command, but like ones I like are Cherry MX Blacks with spring swap and lube and films. I do Cherry MX Browns also with spring swap, lube, and films. I like some Gateron linears like GAT yellows with milky tops. I like a lot. GAT X I like a lot. I actually do still like GAT inks quite a lot for linears. I've tried some others like GAT Vermilions and like those KS3 ones and like the Minks as well. I think I've tried Mizu Minks, etc. Right? Then there's like JWK linears. There's like the OP Blacks. There's Alpacas. There's like Popus, which are basically OP Blacks but recolored. Those are all pretty good. I personally like them. Among like JWK switches, I think I've tried like the Cotton Candy and the Blush for tactiles, and those are pretty good. I've heard from some friends that they like the Cerulean ones, which are kind of like MX Clears type of switches. I've tried Pewters, which are also pretty good. I personally like them. I know people enjoy like their long pole switches. I personally am not a huge long pole switch person, but if you are into that, like, you know, there's like all the Texi and the HMX switches that have long pole stems. There's also like those BCPs that people recommend, but I personally can't recommend because I personally don't use them much. It's like they're nice, but personally I don't like the shortened travel, so I don't really like. I wouldn't. It would be insincere for me to say I would recommend them. What lubricant does your TX and wire use? I use 205 grade 0 blood trail. Okay, will do that happen with all my HMX switches? Yeah, this will happen with a lot of different switches. By the way, it's not just HMX. Like, I think I've seen JWK do that. I've seen Gateron do that. I've seen some Cherry do that, actually. It just might just be a batch dependent thing. Vermilions and Azores were nice. Yeah, those were pretty good in my opinion. I have the the Vermilions are the yellow and the red ones, right? Those I have them in my Mix 65 because they match the build, but super nice switches actually. Those are Gateron linears. All use 205? Yeah, I use all 205. I actually don't like mixing different lubricants blood trail because I don't like the possibility of them mixing rather. I know that some people use, for example, like dielectric grease or BDZ on the wire and other things on the stem / housings. But I don't like the idea of like, because these like stabilizers are parts that move, and as parts move, the lubricant that's on them is also going to shift around, and I just don't like the idea that one lubricant could mix with the other just because of that motion, whether it might be in shipping, whether it's something else. But don't love that idea, and so I don't like using two different lubricants for the same application, so to speak. How would you recommend I mod my stock Nixies and Hyperglides? What I would do, I personally am an advocate for 62 gram TX springs. So I would spring swap with 62 gram TX springs. Make sure I would personally lube my springs with some oil. You can use Krytox 105, or some people use like tool oil, for example. Like I think I've seen some people use like different kinds of oil, but any kind of like lubricating oil will do. That works for springs. There's like a variety that people will recommend. And then for stock Hyperglides or Nixies, I think 205 is fine. A light coat of 205 on the stem should be pretty good. good to go. And I would use regular TX films, just like the 0.15 millimeter thick TX films. Those are pretty solid. And so yeah, that's what I would do for my MX blacks in general, actually. As for the lubricant though, like you can use 205, but you can also use other ones. So let's take a look at these 80 retros, or sorry, classic game 1989 classic switches. These are 55-ish gram bottom out with a 4mm travel. It says 4mm minus 0.3, so I guess close to 4mm travel. 22mm spring, some kind of blend of materials. But these are HMX switches. HMX switches typically known for being like long pole switches, but these seem to be basically quasi non-long pole, but they do still have a pole bottom out, is what I remember hearing. But they come in this nice film-like packaging, like film-like canister packaging. Super cute. Love this. And I believe these are packs of 35. Yeah. But anyway, switches look like this. They're kind of like GMK DMG type of color, alright? So like old school, like gaming console theme. Super cool. Really smooth. These are factory lubed, apparently with 205 and 105 mix. But very smooth. 5-pin. Very smooth. Application of the lube seems pretty even. So pretty nice feeling. So let's try these out actually. Alright, so I was told, I think it was step caps. What are your thoughts on the box design of SWK switches? I personally don't have a strong opinion of box switch designs anymore. I do remember some people had like qualms with box type switches because they would maybe not fit certain keycaps and whatnot. So as long as I think that that isn't an issue, I think that's fine. I personally don't think it's a problem. A long time ago, many years ago, I remember KL box switches had this issue of cracking keycaps. I don't know if they still do have that issue at all, but I haven't really heard much these days about it. As long as basically like they don't affect keycaps in any way, I think box style switches is fine. And for like those like diamond shaped switches and whatever, I think the main caveat for me would be as long as they also don't obstruct the bottom out of commonly used keycaps. So like that would be like cherry profile, for example. And yeah, that is true though. Thrashing Tony does have a good point. Like if you are modding the box style switch, one main annoyance for some people can be that because it is different from regular style switches, they might be a bit of a nuisance to reassemble, like undo and reassemble, and so I guess that's more of a convenience factor. So if you don't mind that, then whatever, but some people might avoid it just because it's inconvenient. 205 you have to relube because it settles over time, no? Yeah, that is true. 205 you do sort of have to, like, especially like, okay, so like one thing that for me, I personally am a little bit like iffy about for sure is that I really like using 205 for all my stabs, but one risk for sure is that if it like settles, like if it moves around, especially like for shipping, like if I'm shipping boards out, that can happen to like client boards, and like that always for me it makes me a little nervous because it's like, oh, what if it resettles and like they don't get like perfect stabs, right? Or like good enough stabs for their own use. It's been pretty good so far. Like a good application of lube has generally preserve pretty well for a lot of clients, but I don't know how that kind of goes with everybody. Like there are some clients I've had for many years, and some of them have told me like, you know, oh, like it kept pretty well. Some of them have told me like, oh, I had to like reapply a little bit, but it was not a big issue. Just had a syringe with 205 and I just reapplied. So yeah, that is definitely a little risk that you can have, but reapplication is not that difficult either. So I personally think that it's okay, but some people do find that a little bit more aggravating. I think they're talking about dust-proof stems. Yeah. I'm also talking about those. Well, I mean, I did mention them, like the kale box style. Those can be a little bit annoying to disassemble and lube because you don't know where the box, oh sorry, where the covered part starts and where it doesn't, where it stops. Like where the exposed part is. All right, so. Would you recommend lubing salmon Alps? I'm not allergic to scratch, I mean from a preservation perspective. It depends. Alp switches are a bit different. Most people say that Alps do better with either, if the original factory lube has held up pretty well, then just leave it alone. If you already like how it is alone, then you leave it alone. If you don't, then people will recommend, I mean, some people wet lube, so meaning like using like greases like 3204 or 205 and things like that. But a lot of people, like the more kind of like purist Alps enthusiasts, will say that it's better to do dry lube application. So that might be either RO59 or using a mix of like PTFE powder diluted in like a solution. And basically you're applying a lube that cures, like dries and cures as like a smooth layer on the plastic. Some people will recommend that, but and then lastly, for restoration purposes, there's a method called the wax boil method, where you basically are using a pure form of like candle wax in water, and basically you're putting a layer of wax on the plastic of the stems. And I think you can also do it on the housings too, but you know, I think stems are enough. So there's that as a restoration method. But I would say like only open up your Alp switches if you are dissatisfied with them as they are. But if you open them, just do know that it's kind of a chore to do like any kind of modding. Is your finger okay? Oh, it's okay. I just cut myself while cooking. Sana salad con colita de rana. Haven't heard that in a minute. ¿Qué pedo? Kiko Keys, hello. Dude, Cap, the eyes on the Sonder glows under UV and my desk mat as well for some reason. Why does Translate say that says what a fart? Because yeah, pedo means fart in Spanish. But that's a way of saying like what's up. Okay, I think the stabs sound pretty good. Super smooth, these switches. They're crazy smooth. But if you don't know much about Spanish and you want to look it up, you can. But yeah, it's popular way to say what's up in Mexican Spanish, typically. Diego, I don't know the difference between glow in the dark and UV reactive, and I'm too afraid to ask. So, well, you basically are asking the question by putting that. So, UV reactive means that the color looks a bit different under UV. So, for example, but it won't stay glowing. So like, what's a UV reactive cap here? Okay, so yeah. So like I'll grab this keycap here. This is a UV reactive cap in the sense that you see that red on the keycap. When you apply like UV lighting, it reacts by kind of like reflecting off a different hue of the color that it's originally. Or for example, it might be UV reactive because it kind of like appears a lot brighter, right? Like this is UV reactive as well, right? And then glow in the dark is exactly what it says. The pigment has additives that absorb radiation and maintain a specific status. In this case being that it can, you know, is like phosphorescent or fluorescent, so it'll like glow. And it'll maintain that glowy state for like a certain amount of time. Have people tried filming HMX switches? I think people have tried. Get bags is also a common saying now. I've heard that saying since I was like a kid. What do you mean a common saying now? I've heard get back since I was like in elementary school. What the fuck? Is the US like new to these things? Okay, I'm 11 right now, Diego. That's cap. Can you put 20 plus millimeter springs in Nixie's Hyperglass? Yeah, you can. If you want to learn Spanish ASAP, spend 6 months working food service. Yes, very true. I rebuked that Twitch, I'm sorry. Get Bex is very niche. Yeah, it's niche. But I've heard it since I was a kid. It's not new. That's the bottom line. It's not new. It's niche. It's not new. Like, very rare do I hear it. Like, very rarely. But I've heard it since, like, so long ago. Alright. These switches are pretty nice. Actually, these are definitely switches that even factory lube alone, no modifications, they are nice and tight housing wise. They're pretty good. They're very, very smooth. A little bit on the borderline of like over looped feeling for those who are picky about how much lube is applied to their switches, but definitely like it feels like a modestly brush lubed applied. Modestly brush lube like switch, so it's, yeah, definitely on the side of like more lube than less lube, but very smooth, but pretty even is how I describe it right now. It's pretty consistent so far. What is HMX? Brand, switch making brand. Amherray with the prime, thank you. Diego, do you say pues? Depends. Not that much. Pues sí? Pues, maybe? I don't say like pues. No, I don't say it like that though. I used to like, I don't know how to say, like, hablar más cantado. Like, you know, like when I was like living like in León, Guanajuato, I used to speak Spanish with a much heavier inflection, but I moved to Mexico City after that, so I kind of spoke Chilango for a long time. So yeah. Hummusy is hummus? Ah, you guys are so weird. Copiteño accent. Alright, let's solder these up. What goes into reviving a past GMK set? Enough interest for people to actually contribute to buying it. That's the main thing. Another thing is obviously you should do your research, figure out whether you should be able to run it, because not every set is like some sets. For example, the original runner is planning on rerunning it, and you don't want to like step on toes. Like technically no one owns the colorway, but at least in the community it is widely regarded that you should kind of like respect other people's like ideas. And so, you know, you don't want to step on people's toes if you know that they're gonna be running it soon, that kind of stuff. Not to mention, like, it just kind of creates like bad rep for you and for the other person if you get into like some kind of like conflict because you know, someone stepped on toes and there's disagreements, blah blah blah, right? So there's a bit of that. Then I guess lastly, I mean, yeah, it's just interest. Like not just you should be interested in rerunning it, but other people should be interested in rerunning it. And that will definitely include vendors. Like you will have to contact vendors, figure out whether someone wants to lead the effort in running it, and you also will need to have like assets for it. So you need someone to create renders. Like you want to redo your kitting so that it's compliant with like what modern standards are like, so what people are generally using, what people expect from a base kit or a child kit or whatever. You want to do kitting well, because good kitting also means well-priced kits, and well-priced kits effectively means better sales outcomes. And so you definitely want to do some research on how to do a good kit, and understand why your kitting is a certain way, because you know, kitting is all about who is the end user. And so, you know, some people subscribe in the philosophy that a base kit should have all of the compatibility, including in every niche kind of layout. My personal opinion of a base kit is the most comprehensive while not sacrificing too much, for example, on price or other factors like that. You wanna give a comprehensive enough compatibility, physical compatibility to be specific. I actually don't think it matters that much to have the perfectly, you know, like the correct legends for everybody. Like sure, like for example, like 1.5U super keys or like quote unquote Mac OS keys, they're not essential. Like you can live without them. The general customer is actually not a Mac user, and so you can't do a base kit expecting only Mac users or adjusting for them and then increase the price of the kit, you know, that kind of stuff. So you have to like measure out what your audience is like, who your audience is, what they're expecting for a price point, and do kitting accordingly. But yeah, and unfortunately, like there will be sacrifices and compromise you need to make. Like you will have to put certain keys in certain kits that essentially make them costly, and yes, you essentially are forcing a certain subset of people to purchase a child kit, even though they will only use just a few of those keys. That's just inevitable. It is because, in fact, splitting kits into many different unique identifying numbers, like identifiers, like in other words, like if you have several different kits for several different utilities, like if you have a Mac kit, then you have a 40s kit, then you have a Ergodox kit, an International kit, a Nord kit, or whatever it is, right? If you have all these kits, people actually don't end up buying them at the end, even though they're cheaper. And so like generally data seems to indicate that the like outcome of doing kitting that's very split up like that doesn't end up in good sales outcomes. And so sometimes you need to make a sacrifice and make fewer, like, you know, make fewer kits that people will still buy, while still not sacrificing too much on like price performance. Diego, after doing Blue Alert, are there any other sets you'd like to run? I have some ideas, but nothing immediate. And I'm not sure if what I would want to run is something original or something that's kind of like a rerun of something else, because I do have a lot of older sets personally, so it's like Blue Alert actually for me was a little bit more of other people wanting it than me wanting it. I actually do have a round 1 set that I already like a lot, and it has many other things I like about it. But I did want to see the set with text plus icon. I did want to see the set with the stripe, even if it's a separate kit, right? Yeah, there are several things about it that I wanted it to be true, but honestly, Blue Alert was not a set that I was thinking I'm doing this for just myself because I really wanted it. The Ultra R5 was actually a set that I pretty much run for myself. Like I wanted Dolch with an R5 bottom row. Like that was like a big thing for me. And so I was like, yeah, I want Dolch R5 with the right bottom row. I want Dolch, I want Dolch with the right bottom row. I want Dolch with the right accents. I want Dolch with the right white color. I actually don't like the cooler white, the WS1 white that the originative set used. I actually don't like it as much as the original CP warm white that the original Dolch pack units were using, like, or the original cherry caps were using. I prefer that warm white for the white of the legends on Dolch, and so that was a big thing. Or picking the red, for example, like P3 red over I think R01 or R02 red. I forget which one was the one that originative used, but like for example, that was a big one. Like I wanted the accent to be specific red. The teal, I didn't want it to be like that cyan that GMK stock color is. I wanted it to be like the turquoise from the logo. So yeah, like the Ultra R5, when I first ran that, it was a very like, I had my selfish reasons to like run it, but Blue Alert, I don't think it was as strong as much of that. More so than other people being like, oh, it would be cool to see Blue Alert run, and it would be cool to see it with like specific things. Extra 35 for blue Numbro stripe rubbed me the wrong way. Well, that's too bad. I know it rubbed some people the wrong way, but it's either that, right? Like the thing is this. The base kit was already 135 US. Imagine if I had put that into the base kit, and let's say like we hit better MOQs, and the price increase is still 25 US dollars. Would people actually buy an 160 US dollar base kit though? The answer, I think, is that actually people are more enticed to just get the base kit, even if it's without the stripe, at 135, than pay 160 for all inclusive, because not everybody wants the stripe either. And so I think I prefer the idea of having the stripe separate than having it in the kit with a much more expensive pricing. So I think that was a kind of a big thing about kitting. It's like yeah, sure, people are like, oh yeah, Blue Alert should have the quote-unquote alert row on top on the base kit, but if you look at Blue Alert round 1, it didn't have, like, it didn't even exist in the first place. The quote-unquote alert row. So Blue Alert technically isn't even a quote-unquote alert set, as people call it. And also in the original alert runs, like for example the DCS set, which was called actually DCS Rebel. DCS Red Alert was actually the Keycap run set afterwards, which had completely different kitting, and it was run completely differently. The original set with the stripe was DCS Rebel. It was run by what's his name? It was run by 60 and what was the other guy's name? But anyway, it was run by 60 back in the day on Distority and through OTD.kr, and that set had the quote-unquote alert row, or the stripe, the red stripe, as a separate add-on kit. And so it never was designed in a way where it was built into the base, and so I kind of want to follow that legacy too. All right. Let me go back. Finding, design, and purchasing rights. I did not purchase any rights. I just asked for permission. Get novel keys on board. Technically, Blue Alert was going to run through a different vendor, but it ran through novel keys later. How to get perestroika from Mean Designer. Someone should revive Gregory and Taiga. There's a chance those could rerun at some point. Yeah, I should cater to 90% of the customer base, which is actually like a more minimal customer base. GMK Regal had the best base kit. Debatable. But that's also because it was heavily subsidized by Mr. Jono paying for a lot. Omnitype has a nice sale going with deals from previous happy hours going on. Those happy hour deals are actually pretty good. Forest Blue Stripe and Base can offer the normal Numro as an add-on. Oh my god, that would tilt so many people. Trauma dumping from Kokalu PTSD. Is there any benefit to solderable besides the option? Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. Options for layouts. Not to mention, building with solder is fun. Nice and secure switches. Okay, sorry, I'm just like checking all my joints here. Might want to reflow this one over here. Just ever so slightly. Okay, that's it. Let's test our PCB. Diego, what are the main differences you've noticed between GMK and Keycaps with the Darling R2 announcement? Not sure if I sell Keycaps Darling to nab GMK. Quality-wise, GMK and Keycaps are pretty much neck on neck. Really good for both. Like both ABS double shot, really nice. I do believe Keycaps does the double shotting a little bit differently. So some people say that the feeling, that the sound of the keys is a bit distinct on Keycaps versus GMK, and so it just kind of feels and sounds very differently for some people. I personally think feel-wise, kind of whatever, not much of a difference, but sound-wise, there might be some difference. I don't think it's as different as like JTK, for example. I think JTK's difference is very stark and obvious. But I don't know about I think personally Keycaps quality is very good. So if I already own a Keycaps set, I'm not sure if I would bother trying to get the GMK set. So there's that. Personally, I don't think I would bother because the quality of Keycaps is really good already. Unless I had other issues, like if I wanted specific modifier type or like novelties, I don't know, whatever it might be. And yeah, something some people might argue about texture too. Yeah, I think some people say GMK texture can be rough for them. All right, PCB is working. Great. But yeah, ignorance is indeed bliss for most things in the hobby. That is very true. Or any hobby for that matter. Better for you to not know about certain hobbies, to be honest. It's just a waste of money sometimes. But yeah, hot swap, yeah, gives you the option to try different switches, so that's nice. It looks like Krell is back for good now. Want to run a set together? Sure. What ideas do you have? But also, I would still give Mr. Krellbit some time. I imagine he's pretty. He's getting better, but I wouldn't rush into it. Okay, we have our aluminum backplate over here. So hard, but weeb. Drew are hiding today because Cotton 8 came my server today. Oh no. Jane Doe said. What is, in your opinion, the 6 Infinity Stones of GMK sets? Okay, I think Beige, Dolce, and Wob are like the obvious 3 choices anyone should probably pick. I think this is a very tough question though. A lot of people consider. I personally really like certain sets. Like some of the classics for me are really appealing. Hyperfuse is one. Any of the versions of Hyperfuse, either R1, R2, Origins. I think those 3 are the main ones that people like a lot. And then there's like Carbon or Hydro type of sets. Those are also pretty solid. That I think I would always rec. And then maybe something with like red or something like that. Maybe like Burgundy or like Honeywell, kind of like more classic inspired. Pretty nice. Oh, interesting. Use a different size screwdriver. You forgot Greg? I mean, if you want something fun, that's definitely one of the most fun sets out there. But Honeywell, the thing is, Honeywell is an all-timer, quote-unquote, because it's just like Beige, Dolce, and Wob, where it's like vintage, classic inspired. Like Honeywell, it's not an original idea, so to speak. It's actually based on an existing vintage keyboard or, you know, brand aesthetic. But I guess so it is for Hyperfuse, you know? Hyperfuse is based on a shoe? So, I don't know. Olivia is top for me? Olivia, I have to be honest, I did not love GMK Olivia when it was first IC'd. And a lot of people didn't. And this is exactly why Olivia became very, very popular. Because people didn't like it that much. But then, as time went by, people were like, oh, you know, I actually really like it how it came out. After the first round was shipped, like it was made and shipped, it didn't do super, like it was not like a super crazy hit for GB wise, and so it was all right. And then round 2 had to come for it to like really sell like hotcakes. It was a very, very popular set afterwards. But yeah, it was round 1 that was very small, very difficult to get. It was very explosively popular after it shipped. Same with Serica. Serica was one of those sets that also was not that popular when it came out. And then people saw it in person / like in pictures, and they were like, what the hell, I want that set. Aren't there Serica extras on NK still? Yeah, but you should go look at how many Serica sold for R2. No one cares whether extras remain in stock. But like when you look at the numbers, like Dots is a good example, right? Like people talk about GMK Dots, right? People talk about GMK Modern Dolge a lot, right? Modern Dolge also had a very successful group buy run, generally speaking. Like, who cares if they're still in stock? They already sold. People already paid the money for it. like in group buy. The rest was just vendors stocking up for sales afterwards for, you know, for company revenue. I really wish Olivia R3 Dark didn't put those ugly sub-legends. I actually personally like the APL sub-legends, and I think it makes it kind of unique. But that's just me. I actually was debating picking a setup myself at some point, because I like APL. But, yeah, I mean, it's... But also, is it really hard to get Olivia Dark? Like, Olivia plus Dark right now? Is it? I thought it wouldn't be that hard, because there are so many on R2. I've yet to see a Dark Olivia R3 set in a picture. Oh, I've seen a few. It looks pretty good. Oh, I should put those TX thingies. Why not? Thanks to DOS, we have 4-month GMK timelines now. True, we have big sets to thank for great turnover time for GMK, because they had to expand production capability so much. R2 Dark might not be as plentiful as Light. I mean, that makes sense, because the Light one was the popular one. I have both, and they both look great. I agree. You know, the only reason I actually didn't buy GMK Black Snail was because I have Olivia R2 Dark. I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of close. Even though, you know, it's different. But I like the idea of GMK Black Snail. But I was like, I basically have this set. I was like, Black Snail at home. Won my first Grim. Akira is amazing. Give it to me. So jealous. That's nice. That's a sick win. Give it to me. Right, meow. Surely you will send it to me for retail when you decide that you don't want it anymore. Alright? Kiwi demands for it. Just kidding. I'm not gonna use the name of Kiwi like that. Speaking of Kiwi, where is he? I think he's still sleeping. He looked very sleepy this morning. Oh! Speak of the devil. Haven't checked the Artisan channel in a few weeks. I'm checked out, not gonna lie. I mean, that's fine. Being checked out is totally okay. Oh, yes. I know, we called for you. I called for you by accident. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So, okay, no. Now I can use his name. Kiwi demands for it, a blueberry pug. So you shall send it over. Right? Meow! BG sale soon though? Oh, Pog. That's exciting. Nicole set. Oh, ODM. Ooh, this looks nice. Okay, let's plug it in. Does anyone have an idea of what the R2 keys go for nowadays? I don't know. No clue. I thought everything was kind of retail these days, but then again, I don't know. Just don't keep track anymore. Diego, by the way, can I have your opinion on the board I've been working on? Let me finish this up. I'll check it out in just a bit. I miss Gam? Yeah, where's Gam been? I remember Gam went to Japan and was posting up his food photos for a bit, and then occasionally popped in here a couple of times, and then kind of haven't seen him in a bit. Oh, Kiwi just sat down to chill next to us. He is... Oh, he's so sleepy. He is falling asleep, the poor boy. So it looks like we're doing top mount today, as I don't think I have an O-ring. Is it even O-ring compatible? Actually, I did not check that, but probably is. I think the GAF 910 is supposed to be, so. Are you excited about any upcoming project? There are some things that I've seen that look pretty good. I just need to kind of go over them. Oh wait, I forgot about the back weight. Oh, actually, speaking of the Cloud9 earlier, what are they called? Why do I suddenly forget their brand name? Machina Rabbit from who also did the Cloud9. He's doing that other board that's also like True HKB, right? That one looked pretty good with like different material bottoms and stuff. That one looked pretty cute. Cloud9. Not Line, yeah, not JJW. Although JJW is working on new projects as well, which also look to be pretty promising. So there could be some exciting JJW products coming up. I personally cannot wait for the Constance and Umbra by IV Works. I have no idea what that is, because I keep getting the names confused, to be quite honest with you. I don't know who is who now. Something works. 2-letter works. Can we skip the 2-letter works brand names? And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's more so that I constantly conflate them. I think that's what happens. You hear about one, you hear about them all, and then you get confused which one's which. We're switching over to studios now. Oh my god. Yes, that's right. It's Works and Studios, and then just you wait. Someone's gonna be something Works Studios and Co. And when you have an and Co, that's when you know it could be a potential problem. And watch if they name themselves Project something. All right. Wow, that looks really nice. This kind of like feels like it needs GMK DMG, doesn't it? MX Studio Works. Kupo keeps Works Co and Friends. That's kind of cute, actually. Kupo keeps Works Co and Friends. Mr. Gamble was literally posting Lightning Court last night. I always miss some people posting because I'm not paying as close attention these days. Black Snail at home, please. Black Snail at home. You have Analog Dreams? Yeah, I do. Although DMG would be pretty nice. Let's try DMG. I kind of just want to see it because these keycaps just go perfect for it. I think I have it over here. DMG on polycarb sounds pretty sick. Let's try it though. Oh, you're gonna take a look after building the board? I can take a look now. I don't have to get all demanding and shit. Let's see. Where's the link? Oh, it's a kitty. Let me see. Where's my? Oh wait, I put it on the wrong page. Here? That's right. Okay. Chrome. No, Firefox. Oh yeah, here. Browser. All right. Oh, this looks cute. Is it a? Oh, it's true HKB. That's pretty cute. That's a small weight. Oh wait, no, that goes through. I think. Right? Is that through weight? Center USB. Nice curves on the bottom and the back. Looks like removable bump-ons. That's pretty cute. I like the color. Oh, is that a buy and bolt technology? That's pretty nice. 6U fixed. Wow. Can I ask you a favor? Please? Can you remove full backspace compatibility on that? Can you just make it fixed 1U top row? And also no full right shift? Split right shift and split backspace forced. Do that and it'll be perfect. My only feedback for you right now. Otherwise it looks really cute though. I really like that. Like what is this? Not Tiffany, but like kind of tealish, cyanish color. Super cute color. Color is really nice though. Yeah. I can't see any other thing, but yeah. No step also. Oh, it pains me. I mean, if you're going to force everything and do no step, I would be okay with it. But I do prefer my stepped control. Just because it looks nicer. But if it's gonna be HKB like blockers, I feel like split everything on the backspace and the right shift is probably the right thing to do. But I mean, it's okay if you decide to do forced everything. There are more pictures. Oh. Oh, cool. There's machining pics. Mao keyboard. Okay, let's see. What's okay? So that's for the bolts. I'm assuming this is top mount. Yeah, that looks top mount. Or is it tap hole? Tap hole. Okay, so top mount. Squishy top mount. Tap hole is squishy top mount. Oh, is that an those cutouts look like Alps? Or what's that? Is that Alps cutouts at the bottom? Pretty nice. So how come you do forced Alps cutouts and then you can't do forced MX cutouts? How unfair is that? Where's the forced EC cutouts but no forced MX cutouts? It doesn't work this way. This is no good. This is not fair. Not fair. MX people are picky. Okay, that's true. Well, if you're going to offer more than HHKB blockers though, like if you're going to offer win keyless or win key, then yeah, I guess that's fine. But if it's HKB only, I wouldn't do it. I would just force it. Let the true cultured people get it. Let the cultured people do it right. Is that a one-off? I mean, it's a one-off then. But he said people, so maybe it's not a one-off or not. I mean, for now it's a one-off, but Might not be a one-off later. I mean, otherwise, why would I be asked for feedback, I guess? Now that I think about it. It's like, why would I even be asked for feedback if it were just a one-off, so no one would ever make it again? Oh, wait, no, we should use those cool novelties. Don't all keywords start as a one-off? Yeah, I guess if you're prototyping things, yeah. I actually don't know what novelties this had, so actually let me check the novelties kit first. Oh yeah. Alright, I'll just put this one because I like this more than the caps lock like that. And maybe start and select. Wait. Start and select. Start goes on the right, select goes on the left, right? Typically. Ooh. When we should use those arrows, right? Wait, is this the right profile? I think it is. Is this a personal build? No. It's not a personal build. Wait, I didn't do this right, did I? Is this right? I don't know. I'll check. I'll double check in a bit. Let's see. I think of all house chores, I dislike laundry the most. I guess that's fair. A lot of people do dislike laundry, yeah. I actually don't dislike it that much, but because it's not that bad. I think the worst house chore might be like properly cleaning floors and crevices and things like that. Like when not when you just wipe things down or like vacuum stuff and mop it once. You know, no, none of that shit. When you like properly go down and like wipe off like little, like the, what's that, like, you know, like those portions of the wall ledge that like kind of like get dusty and stuff. Hate that. Just have to get down and dirty, you know. Properly cleaning baseboards. It's the corners. Yeah. It sucks. Big time. Man, these switches are nice, actually. Wow, DMG looks so good. What am I missing? Enter key, I guess. Accent? Yeah, I think I like the accent on this. Maybe I should add one of those 1U button keys to match to go with the enter a little better. That? And then got some artisans I can use. No, Mr. Streamer, you're supposed to be elitist and hate text-only mods. I don't love them. I don't love them. I do still wish DMG was traditional like context. That's for sure the case for me. I don't know what I didn't even know what a duvet was for the longest time. Bedsheets are so confusing, honestly. Yeah, they can be, yeah. Or at least, so it seems. Alright, so recently I got these cool keycaps from Booper that match DMG. I just have these 3. Oh, hi. Yeah. And I think for the last one, I'll go with this, yeah, the last one I'll go with this bongo. So maybe I'll do bongo and escape and the boops on the right. Come on, focus. There it is. Perfect. Okay. Yes, Kiwi. Soon. Very soon, actually. Yeah. I know. I hungry meow? Yes, that is an I hungry meow for sure. Oh, what's up, Kiwi? Okay, okay. Oh, did someone redeem a hug Kiwi? Okay, fine. I can get Kiwi. Give me a sec. I'm just looking to... Alright. What's up? Alright, okay, okay. Give me 1 sec. I'll bring Kiwi first. Maybe I'll show him to you guys and then I guess I should just feed him a little early. But alright. Yeah, I know. People wanna see you. Can you see them once? Just once? I know it sucks. Kiwi's protesting, yeah. Oh, Kiwi. Say hi. Say hi. He's just purring. Can you hear him purr? He looks so tired. He's just sleepy. Oh. You're so tall. You're so tall. Oh. There's your kiwi love over there. Kiwi bumps. Kiwi bumps. Good boy. Okay, fine. Let's go eat. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, Kiwi. Wanna go? Wanna go? Let's go. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Can you film him eating? Yeah, camera is fixed to a mount, so it's kind of hard for me to do that. He's eating well though. He gets really quiet when he eats. Alright. So there it is. Woo! Looks good. Alright. So there's our GMK DMG on this. Okay, let's try it out. All right, so okay, so let's try this out. Audio is good, I think. All right, so this is a Polycarb GAF 910 with GMK DMG. There's a full aluminum plate, and we have these HMX GAME1989 switches. Very nice and cute. Full travel linears prelude from the factory, very nice and smooth, and currently built in this top mount configuration for the allo plate for the 910. All right, let's try it out. Wow, these are really nice, super smooth. Personally, I actually like how these are not as harsh on the stem pole bottom out because they're sort of like close to full travel. And so despite you being able to still hear a little bit of the plastic sort of like hitting the other side of the plastic for the housing, it's a pretty nice feeling. So here are the mods. Nice and low-pitched spacebar sound on this. The polycarb case. Pretty good sound, honestly. But yeah, these are really, really nice and smooth. I think out of the different factory lubed application switches that I've tried, these actually might be one of the most consistent ones that I've personally used. Not just HMX, but just in general. I think these are very, very consistently lubed. You can still hear a little bit of that like plastic to plastic contact on some of the switches, and I think that might be either, I'm not sure if it's that or if it's actually a leaf noise, but you can hear a little bit of that like high pitched sort of like tick tick kind of like sound that's sort of coming from, I think it's from the plastic, but it might be leaf noise, I'm not sure, but no, I think it's plastic, because if it were a leaf, it would kind of hear like a little bit more of a rattly sound, but this definitely kind of sounds a little bit more like stem pole bottom out. You can still hear a little bit of that, so it's not like fully like all full travel with no stem pole bottom out, like just the sides, like it would happen with like regular Cherry MX switches, for example, or Gateron switches, for example. So you still have a little bit of that stem pole bottom out sound, so it makes it a little bit louder. But and you do have a pretty long spring in these switches. I think these switches actually use these 22mm springs, so it appears like the return is definitely like very considerable feeling, right? Like the return is very strong, but on this like very long spring, as you can see. As far as the application of the lube, it does look pretty consistent. Let's take a quick look at it. So actually, this might be easier if I just do it this way. So as you can see, the application of lube appears pretty good. It's on the stem. It's a little bit of a kiwi hair here getting stuck, but a little bit of fuzz. But like it's consistent. It's not glob like. It's pretty thin. It kind of gives me the vibe that it was applied with something that's akin to a brush, despite being factory applied. Kind of like a little quick dip, and then brushed over. So really nicely, evenly applied. In fact, I think one quick tell of whether this was done by something like a brush or not, or whether it was just dipped or doused in lube, is to see whether the stem portion on the inside has lubricant. And I actually don't see any lubricant. So I actually don't see lubricant like right here. Right here on the stem pole, I don't see any lubrication. So that kind of tells me that it was probably applied by some sort of brush or some kind of tool like that just applies on the edges, or by tooling that is just making surface contact with the edges. But it's very nicely evenly applied, and I think that definitely gives it a lot of its consistency. Very, very nicely done as far as factory lube application is concerned. So I'm personally pretty pleased with these. Oh, Patty, good morning, hello, or good evening, I guess, but hello. How are you? How was, wait. Oh, wait, yeah, that's right, good morning for you. Aren't you in, Australia still? How are things over there? How are you enjoying it? But yeah, very cute looking HMX switch. Frankly, super nice. And it comes in this nice and cute packaging. Good, I'm having a great time. Yay, that's good. It's good to hear. I've been looking at your stories. It seems like so much fun. I mean, you also went to TwitchCon, so I'm pretty jealous. You're getting to travel so much. I guess it's tiring, but it's fun. How long are those springs? Here are the specs. It says 45 gram operating force, 53, 55-ish bottom out force, 4mm travel-ish, and then 22mm spring. Long, man. Long. Do you find a spider in your shoe yet in Australia land? I saw a huge bat like the size of a vulture. Holy shit, that sounds scary. Whoa, film switches? I mean, they just come in this like canister GAM. Oh, hi GAM. But they're like game themed, sort of like the DMG theme. Those big bats are just fruit bats, thankfully. Ah, I see. But yeah, we can take a look here at these let's see, this GAF 910, I think, is the underglow all the way it goes right now. Let me see. I think it can be a little bit brighter. That's about as bright as it gets. But it's also the lighting in here is really bright. So if I turn this off, it's like, woo, RGB. Tried using my Reiki can with the angle. Oh, really? What typing angle is that? I'm actually kind of surprised to hear that. I feel like it's not even that tall. Show fish, please, with RGB. What fish? This is not a kohaku. But I can show you the bottom of the board. One sec. Here it is. RGB. Gamers. Poggers. Gamers, yeah. Do I use this as the thumbnail? It's kind of funny. It's so dark though. You should turn on the light and then jump out and scare us? Oh. Sort of like that. Please tell Gian we need the F260 as soon as possible. Just tell Gian. Just tell Gian. Just go and say Gian F260 plus ASAP. Tank. You failed, still cute? I know I failed. I tried. Yeah, Gian does things at his own pace, so that's true. Alright, folks. Is anybody streaming at the moment? I don't know if anybody is. Don't see anybody, I think. Not in keyboards right now. Okay, cool. We can take it easy. And probably wrap it up today. I actually have to go. So, I just have some other stuff to do. So I have to go. But it was nice seeing you all. I'll catch you guys, pretty soon. Actually, oh, yes. Before I go, I do want to announce, I do plan on doing a build-a-thon, this weekend, potentially. I'm just preparing the last bit. Basically, it's just going to be a build-a-thon / subathon type of event. The idea of it is I built personal builds, among other things, and I have switches for like, I have like over 5, I don't even know how many. I think I have like 8 builds I could possibly do, but I have a lot of builds I could do. The idea is I just do builds back to back. We hang out. There's gonna be a bit of a clearance, so I'm just gonna be giving away stuff. Like I have boards from before, like prototypes from ClayClack.io that I like have had for a while and I didn't get to give out before. Some switches, keycaps, stuff like that. Mostly keycaps and keyboards actually. But I just have like a bunch of random stuff that I haven't given out in a while, or like I didn't get a chance to give out before in like a previous event, or it's just like I found after I moved and things like that. So there's like stuff to give out. So I'll be doing giveaways, and I'll just be building a bunch of boards, and we'll just be hanging out. Kiwi might be around, just chilling. I don't know. He might be demanding. He might not be. You might hear him just like going crazy. I don't know. But yeah, we're probably gonna be doing that. The date is not finalized just yet. I'm just like prepping some things, but it will likely be this weekend. So like October 4th, 5th. I might do it in multiple portions where I basically do like, you know, several builds in one day, and then, you know, do several more the next day and so on. So, you know, just come by, you know, show some support and just like hang out. It's fine. You don't have to like sub or, you know, do anything to participate. You can enter any giveaways you want as they happen. You just have to be here. And that's about it, really. So that will probably happen this weekend. So yeah. Oh, Rip, I'll be out of town. Hope it goes well. Oh, that's too bad. Well, hopefully you catch some of it, but if not, that's okay. But I'll catch you guys then. That'll probably be the next stream, I think, right now, just based on my schedule. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll probably post news on that on my Discord. It'll be like kind of a bit of a short notice, but it's fine. It's just the whole point is just to clear out stuff and do builds. So I'll see you guys then. Okay. Decent Europe hours. I'll try to start in the middle of the day, like during daytime hours for NA. So that'll be like evening, nighttime for EU for the first decent bit, and then it'll like cross over into nighttime / morning for Australia, Asia, right? Portions, and then I'll if I feel very tired, like, and I can't go further, like in the middle and that kind of thing, I might just take a nap, sleep, or whatever, come back, go online, and do more. So we'll just do that and go from there. We'll just play it by ear. Honestly, this is the least planning I've done for an event specifically. Like, the only planning I really did was just to lube a lot of switches. I have like so many switches lubed. Mostly Cherry MX. I'm sorry, these are mostly personal builds / rebuilds. And so if you don't like Cherry MX blacks and Cherry MX browns and things like that, that's too bad. Suck it up, I guess. Yeah, you'll just have to bear with that portion. But yeah, I'll just be some exciting builds. I do have some rare builds. Like, I will probably be getting to build a Note TD, which is great. Might build my DK Saver maybe. I have some other, like, I have some customs going on. Yeah, so there's a bunch of builds. There might be, actually, I do have a GAF 910 myself that I haven't built, so I might build that too. So yeah, some cool stuff to build. But other than that, you've probably seen a lot of these builds anyway, in other forms or other streamers. But yeah, you'll get to see them during that event, and you'll get to enjoy some prizes if you get to win anything. So that's about it. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Favorite plate for MX Browns? Personally, Polycarb. But Alu is pretty solid. At least for me. But yeah. Anyway, I'll see you guys then. I'll see you guys this weekend. Have a good one. Take care. CF for Browns. Ooh, carbon fiber is very good too, yes. I do have carbon fiber and MX Browns on my V2CE, and it's great. And I've had the same build since I built it, so I like it a lot. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Oh, hi Lily. Bye Lily. What did you miss? You missed the whole stream, but I'll see you later. Bye.